Welcome to the Peer Assisted Learning Scheme, an introduction. My name's Jess Kemp and I am the Peer Assisted Learning Scheme Coordinator here at BIM Manchester. From me, I want to say a huge warm welcome to the Peer Assisted Learning Scheme team. It's great to have you on board, and I personally am really looking forward to the start of the academic year to get this year's scheme on the road. The aim of this presentation is to highlight the key elements that are included within the role of a PAL. Hopefully, throughout this presentation, I'll be able to answer any questions that you may have about the logistics of the scheme and how it will work. If not, by now you should have received some information on when your training day will be. During that training session, myself and Donna Berwick will be providing even more information on the role and the skills that you need to carry out this role. Above and beyond that, if you have any further questions, please feel free to email me at jesskemp@bim.co.uk and I'll be happy to answer. So, the Peer Assisted Learning Scheme, what is it? Well, the Peer Assisted Learning Scheme is the opportunity for BA3 PALs to provide BA1 partners with support, including lots of different things. The support varies from academic to general support and is made up of lots of different elements. The first one being settling into life at BIM. Coming to Manchester, whether it's to live or just to study or both, can be very daunting for a first year student. Therefore, having somebody in third year who is experienced and can support you through this process is really key and beneficial. Secondly, developing academic study skills and writing is a main part of the support that PALs can offer. For a first year coming to university for the first time, academic writing may be something brand new to them, so having someone in the third year with that experience once again is really beneficial into understanding how to do that. Another thing is utilising and understanding BIM's academic guidelines and resources. So Harvard referencing, essay formatting, essay submission, plagiarism, all of these words may be new to a first year, and especially the Harvard referencing system. So having somebody experienced who knows the answers to many of the questions a first year might want to ask is key to success. Finally, utilising BIM resources. Zoom, Moodle, Teams, Turnitin and EBSCO are all examples of resources that we use here at BIM. As a first year coming to study, some or all of these may be brand new, so having someone to show you the ropes is key. So, what we've got here is a video from the University of Bedfordshire. The video explains how the PAL scheme works there at the University of Bedfordshire and should hopefully give you some kind of insight as to what to expect. Let's give it a watch.
My name's Mohammed. I'm a final year undergraduate psychology student. I'm soon to be graduating in the next few weeks.
My name is Nicholas Ward. I'm a PAL leader, a graduate psychology student.
My name's Susan and I'm in my fourth year of my psychology course.
PAL, or Peer Assisted Learning, is a programme where second and third year students facilitate the transition into higher education of the first year students. The idea being that the second and third year students are the best placed within the university to be able to facilitate this process, knowing, obviously with quite recent experience, exactly what the first years are likely to be going through. Initially, within PAL sessions, I'll define that as the first few weeks. Generally, the PAL leaders are really just facilitating the transition from either adult education or A-levels into the university environment, which is completely different to any other education. The further sessions generally focus more on academic tasks, effective assignment writing.
Looking for exam papers on Brio, how to help with assessments.
The transition into higher education can be quite traumatic, depending upon personality to student type. And the PAL programme addresses that by assuring that these students are not alone, that the things that they experience aren't individual or unique to themselves. We all go through it.
One of the themes you have when you come into university for the first time is that suddenly you've gone from this quite small community-based environment to this massive national global environment. You have students coming in from all over the place, so it's quite daunting in the beginning. So having that environment where you can ask questions that you may not be able to ask your tutors is a massive relief.
I, as a mature part-time student, have all the work experience and skills experience, but lacking in academic skills, which I quickly realised. So PAL was an absolute godsend for me.
I've seen a lot of PAL leaders going from very shy, almost introverted people to people that are just blossoming with confidence. PAL as a CV builder is absolutely fantastic. I couldn't recommend it highly enough to any potential PAL leader or any first years that have experienced PAL and wish to go on to be PAL leaders themselves.
I got to engage with a lot of new students that I wouldn't have initially, develop my confidence. I wasn't the most confident student in the first year, so it was when I was given the opportunity to actually do PAL, I was quite reluctant at first, but I'm actually massively grateful that I actually took on the opportunity.
You can find more information regarding the PAL programme at the university's website, which is www.beds.ac.uk/PAL.
What does it include? Your role of a PAL is made up of a few key areas that I'd like to expand upon. The main one being that we are asking you to provide mentorship for up to 3 BA1 partners. In some cases, you may only be partnered up with 1 or 2 students, however our aim is to partner you up with 3. You'll be providing mentorship for 20 weeks of academic study. The dates of this I'll get on to soon. We're also asking you to host regular PAL meetings with your partners to discuss development. Within these meetings, we'll be asking you to complete and file progress sheets to track your partner's development. For this, I'll be sending out a blank meeting form which I'll be asking you to complete every time you meet up with your PAL. It's really simple, really easy, and I will take care of the filing. We'll get onto that shortly. We're also asking you to help partners to set achievable and realistic study and general life goals. As a third year, you have experienced this in setting work deadlines, setting a timeline for your studying, and also setting long-term goals within your university career. We're also going to be asking you to provide useful feedback to aid development. Giving and receiving feedback is a really beneficial way to push everybody's potential to the limit. Alongside this, we'll be asking you to provide support using BIMS resources, academic guidelines, and also signposting your partners to any relevant tutors or staff where appropriate. Okay, so important dates for your diary. When will this all run? PALS training, as you know, will be taking place on the 3rd and 4th of September. By now you will have had an email with information on which session you should attend and what time and where. These will be held via Zoom between 10 AM and 1 PM. You don't need to bring anything with you, just turn up. It'll be really good to meet you and I'm really looking forward to it. After that, we have the partnering process, which takes place at the end of September after induction. The reason being, we give out study skills forms to all BA1s when they come for induction, which this year is being carried out online. From here, we use the study skills forms as a tool to identify those first year students who may benefit from having a third year PAL. The scheme will run from week 3 of semester 1 to week 8 of semester 2. So that in total is 20 weeks of academic study, which doesn't include the holidays or doesn't include the assessment weeks. We'll be asking you to carry out your one-to-one meetings at least once a fortnight to ensure they're beneficial for both you and your partner. Obviously, this is extremely flexible and we do really want it to fit in the best way possible around both yours and your partner's schedule. Initially, these will be carried out via Zoom, and then hopefully, once we can go back into the buildings, in person. I would personally like to meet with you myself every 4 weeks to discuss your progress, and this is in no way to check up on what you're doing. I just genuinely want to know how the scheme's going, how you're finding the role, and provide support from my end to see if there's anything I can do to help. Let's have a look now at the pros of the PAL scheme. How is this going to benefit you as a third year student? Firstly, one of the most rewarding aspects of this is that you are going to be able to help someone to reach their potential and reach your own at the same time. You're going to be able to gain valuable mentoring skills and experience that you'll be able to take forward into future career prospects of possibly teaching, coaching, mentoring, but in general, a lot of the skills from this scheme are transferable into a lot of different roles. On top of that, you'll get recognition and reward for your work on the scheme upon completion. You're going to develop communication and support skills, which are really key when moving into future employment. These are all things that you can add to your CV, and it will really enhance that for any future employment. Moving into BA3, you'll be studying a module called Professional Development, which looks at developing a soft skill within your personal and professional career. It's very reflective. You give and receive feedback throughout this process, and you're constantly following an action research cycle. Your role within the PAL scheme is a perfect case study to use within this module. So try and keep a log of what you're up to, because you never know when it'll come in handy. So facilitating, not teaching. That's something we're going to use here. What happens in a session? Facilitating and not teaching is key. Although mentoring can aid experience to get into teaching, at this point we are facilitating learning and development and providing support at that peer level. So we're helping BA1s to help themselves. We're providing the support, the questioning and the guidance for your partner to go away and develop their own learning and study skills, whilst also building on your own at the same time. You're going to be able to pass on your own knowledge and experience, and as someone who has been in their exact position, you're one of the best people when it comes to getting support and guidance during first year. As you know, it's a very daunting experience with a lot of new information and formalities to take on, so having someone in your position to guide and nurture is very beneficial. You can create your own challenges, so goal setting with your partner is a really exciting part of the process. You can watch your partner develop during the process and observe the achievements that happen along the way. Alongside this, you can set your own goals as a mentor in action, and you may want to set your own developmental challenges to achieve along the way. We'll also be asking you to plan your own sessions, so you can keep this flexible, you can keep it relaxed. It will be tailored very much towards you and your partner's availability and schedules, and at the end of the day, we want you to get as much out of it as your partner. So that's it really, a whistle-stop tour of the PAL scheme before your training session. I hope that I've managed to answer some questions that you may have had. I'm really looking forward to chatting to you in the training session. Please feel free to email me if you have any additional questions. My email address is jesskemp@bim.co.uk, and I'll see you soon. Thank you very much for watching.